Hello and welcome back to The Last of Us! We're watching episode 3 today. Oh yeah, so excited. Now if reviews are anything to go by, this is by far the best episode of the show. Which means it's probably gonna be the worst episode, but I'm excited nonetheless. The general view that I would give for this show so far is that I didn't love the first episode, but the second episode was okay. So anyway, regardless, I'm pretty excited to get into this, so let's watch the show. Also, I was getting kind of sick of playing no return mode, so I decided to mix it up a bit and have the footage I have for this game be some footage of me playing Batman Arkham Asylum. And I was playing on hard mode, baby. Let's go! Now, I wasn't playing very well on hard mode, but I was doing it. And at the end of the day, as long as you do it, who cares if you do it well? That's pretty much the motto I have whenever I do gaming challenges, let's be real. And again, in case you were curious, the reason why I have game footage to begin with is because I live in constant fear of the copyright lord sniping me down, striking me down where I stand. And I just don't want to get copyright claimed, okay? Don't judge me. Also, it's some way for you to still remember that this is in fact a gaming channel. Despite the fact that all I've been doing lately is just making videos of me watching the show, this is in fact a gaming channel, and we play games here. An hour and 16 minutes. Wow. You know, I honestly think that part of the reason why I really didn't enjoy the first episode was because the runtime was so long. Also, I think this is going to be a Bill episode today. Ooh, and it's not just because his face is on the thumbnail. Adult content! Not in my Last of Us show. Aw, look at Joel playing with the rocks in the water. It's just like summer camp. He's having a grand old time. You see, Joel, you didn't want to go on this trip to begin with, but now you're on it, you're having a jolly old time. A whale of a time.
Look, I've been thinking about—
I don't want your sorries.
I wasn't gonna say I'm sorry. I was gonna say that I've been thinking about what happened. Nobody made you or Tess take me. So don't blame me for something that isn't my fault.
Ellie, he literally wasn't blaming you. He was like, I don't want to hear anything. It's like, don't blame me. It is not my fault. It's like, whoa there, Ellie. Maybe we don't get immediately defensive. You know, just going right for the attack.
Are Bill and Frank nice?
Frank is. Someone shot at me and missed.
You get him?
No, I missed too. It happens more often than you think.
I can't help but feel like that was like a little thing put in for anyone who's played the game. If you play the game, then you know that you gotta kind of like practice to get the aiming down. It takes a little bit of skill. Not that I have that skill. At this point, I have played the game so many times, but my aim is still not awesome. I mean, I have my moments where I could like headshot enemies pretty easily, and I've gotten pretty good at it, but like, they don't give you enough ammo to really get good at the shooting. Even with all my years, my many years of practice, training, grinding, I still miss more often than I hit.
I'm gonna take a look around, see if there's anything good.
Trust me, it's all been picked over already.
Ellie, no! I can already see the way this is going. Ellie's gonna wander off by herself into a dark, creepy cavern, and what happens in dark, creepy caverns in horror stories with zombies when you go off by yourself? That's right, you die! Joel, what are you doing? Activate father mode. Do not let her wander off by herself. Ugh, freaking Joel. Then again, there really aren't that many zombies in this whole show, so there's not really much to be worried about, actually. Yeah, you're fine, Ellie. Go ahead.
All right back there?
Yeah!
Ellie, do not go down there, Ellie. Ellie, no! Yeah, that's a great idea, Ellie. Just go right on in there. I mean, heaven forbid you need to get back out. There's no easy way to climb out of there. It's gonna take some time. It's not like it's a door you could just slam shut behind you and run out. You gotta jump and hoist yourself up. What if there are infected in there, Ellie? Have you learned nothing from when you broke into the museum with Riley? Oh, Ellie, you silly fool. What did I say? What did I say? Honestly, the fact that she went down there at all is just like so brain dead. I know she's 14. I get it. 14-year-olds can be reckless and stupid. But gosh darn it, Ellie, in this world, after everything you've experienced, have a little bit of common sense. Just enough, you know, so you don't go climbing into place. How does Joel not notice that she's done this? Why isn't he keeping an eye on her? I hope it eats you, Ellie. Yes, get closer to it, Ellie. That's a great plan. Seriously though, Ellie, it's like, why are you getting so close to it? You know what I would do? I would leave, because you don't know. It's pinned down and everything, like it's stuck, but it could get unstuck. These things are stupidly strong in the game, at least, and that thing is like really close to turning into a clicker. Clickers are pretty tough, so maybe like, just maybe, get out of there, because it could get out. And also, there could be others in there. But no, yeah, go and stand like 2 inches away from it. Why don't you just put your fingers in its mouth, for crying out loud? Like, oh my gosh, Ellie, you're so stupid. What am I watching right now?
Ellie,
Oh, now you call out for Ellie. About dang time, man.
What are you doing?
There's not much ammo out there for this thing. Makes it mostly useless.
I mean, I get the principle of leaving it because there might not be much ammo out there and it's just one more thing you have to carry. But I mean, it would still hurt if you whack someone in the face with it. I mean, it's still a good club. I mean, you are going to Billstown. I feel like if anyone would have ammo for that type of gun, it probably would be Bill.
Cordyceps mutated. Some of it got into the food supply. Probably basic ingredient like flour or sugar.
Or wheat. Wheat, Joel. I still think that Joel's infected. It's just such a funny plot hole that I noticed. I'm like, what the heck?
There were certain brands of food that were sold everywhere, all across the country, across the world. Bread, cereal, pancake mix. You eat enough of it, it'll get you infected.
Oh my gosh, Sarah was making birthday pancakes, and because he hates pancakes, he didn't get infected by the pancakes. Just the whiskey. Okay, so I guess like he's saying if you eat enough of it. So I guess that does kind of clear up my plot hole problem. It's like, oh, well, he's drinking whiskey. And it's like, if you eat enough of it. So, all you pancake lovers out there, you better watch yourselves. I feel like it was easier for the games because they didn't have to think about what's in what type of food when it was just the fungus. It's like, just don't breathe in the spores or get bit and you're fine. Now they're like, okay, what's made of what? What kind of food can we have in this show?
So the tainted food all hits the store shelves around the same time Thursday. I started to get sick. By Monday, everything was gone.
So I guess that explains why everyone in this world is so evil. Everyone that survived the initial outbreak were all on diets. Of course they're angry and bloodthirsty. Who wouldn't be? Hey now, that ain't just Bill we're seeing here. It's Ron frickin' Swanson.
I'm Ron Swanson.
I love Parks and Rec. That's like one of my favorite shows. Honestly, I feel like that is probably the best casting I have seen for this show so far. Cause like, when I think of this guy, like this actor, I really haven't seen that many things with him in it. I've just kind of seen way too much Parks and Rec. And so when I see this guy, I'm like, yes, survivalist, living in the woods, isolated, big on guns, big fighter, big trapper. I mean, yeah, that's Ron Swanson, all right. Perfect casting for Bill. 10 out of 10. Really nice job, show. Finally, something I can support. I am genuinely having such a fun time right now. This is actually really, really entertaining. I love watching Bill just like immediately go into instant survival mode. While everyone else was freaking out, this man was ready, and I am enjoying this immensely. This is nice. I like this flashback. Yes, Bill! Freaking, oh my gosh, this is so fun. This is like exactly the kind of person that I would want to be in a zombie apocalypse situation. Maybe I'm a psychopath, but I'm like one of those people that always just like to be super prepped for survival situations. I'm one of those type of people who really believes in the notion that it's like, go in with positive expectations, but be ready because you might have to fight your way out of any situation. Always make sure when you go into a room, you find the exits and you make a battle plan for how to get out of there. That's the way that I have lived my life. It's not that I don't like people, I just always assume they're trying to kill me.
I'm just trying to get to Boston.
Alone?
I don't know why, but I think it would be really funny if you just left him there to die. Just like, you gonna go get me a rope or something? Nope. And he just shuts the door. Obviously, that's not what's gonna happen. That's clearly Frank, but...
If I feed you, then every bum you talk to about it is gonna show up here looking for a free lunch. And this is not an Arby's.
2 seconds later.
I left some clothes here for you.
Man, Bill, it isn't an Arby's. It's a hotel. Why don't you come on in? I'll treat you to a 4-course meal, let you use my shower. Why don't we just play Monopoly after it's all said and done? Not very smart, Bill. That is kind of a big risk, and if the games are anything to go by, Frank is not always reliable.
Everything tastes good when you're starving.
Yeah, but not like this.
I know what Frank's thinking. He's like, why the heck would I go to the Boston QZ? I'm staying right here with this dude.
So I guess I'll be going then. But first...
I guess I'll be going, but first, please allow me to stall for as long as possible. Let me just wander through your house. This is fine. Just please don't let me leave. I don't want to go.
You know how much these are worth?
Currently nothing.
Police. Tales of Hoffman. Yuck. These aren't yours.
My mother's. Could you not?
Dude. You're encroaching on his house now. It's like, oh my goodness, you have a piano? Wow. Oh, let me just rifle through your music sheets. Wow. It's like, oh, let me just sit down and start playing. Just gotta start playing that piano. Meanwhile, Bill's just in the background like, oh my gosh, get out of my house.
I like saying no. It lowers their enthusiasm.
And then I'll leave.
Don't do it! Don't play the piano! If it wasn't for the fact that I already know that Frank is going to stay in Billstown with him because that's what happens in the game, I would honestly think it's like he's gonna try and get you to play the piano, he snuck a knife from the dinner table, and he's gonna stab you and stay in your town. That's just what I feel like would happen in a real survival situation. It's like, this place is beautiful, this guy's all by himself, why don't I just... and then boom! Place is mine now.
What are we gonna do? Sit around all night and talk about love?
Bill, you've known him for like 20 minutes. No. Seriously, what the heck? I feel like there's like this new trend in Hollywood where they really want to have gay people in it, but they're always really old dudes. Have you guys noticed that? Because like this is not the first show where I've seen two really old wrinkly dudes just like making out. I feel like it's like this new thing in like all these new modern shows where they just are like, we need gay people, but they have to be elderly men. No women, no youngsters, just the elderly men. We need to cast some gay people for our show. Off to the retirement home.
What's your name?
He doesn't even know his name. Ah! Bill. I for sure think that he's literally just doing this that way he could stay here. Like, not to be a Debbie Downer for you, Bill, but I feel like he's literally using you right now. You're just his sugar daddy now, Bill. It just feels like the setup for a very bad and abusive and leeching relationship you're gonna have here. He's a leech, Bill! No! Dude, Frank, oh my gosh, man. Like, I know that he cooks nice food and he has a good house, but don't sell your body. Do not be his whore! I have a very deep hatred for nudity and sex scenes and just like all of that, you know? Like, I don't want to see it ever. I do not want to see these shriveled retirement home geriatrics doing it on screen. Please don't make me watch that. No,
Don't like that.
I don't want to see this. Oh my gosh, Neil, why? Why is it always the most disgusting sex scenes with you? Oh my gosh, first Abby and Owen on the boat, now frickin' this. I don't even want to think about Abby and Owen in this show. They're... No, Neil, stop!
I live in this world. You live in a psycho bunker where 9/11 was an inside job and the government are all Nazis.
The government are all Nazis!
Well, yeah, now, but not then.
Oh, Frank. Oh. Frank, I'm so sorry. I hate to tell you this, but you are so wrong.
I am asking for some paint and some gasoline for the lawnmower, that's all. I'll do everything else myself.
It is not
Bill,
a matter.
if you say resource management, so help me, I will run through one of your tripwires.
Do you think gas grows on trees, Frank? I mean, I know that Bill stockpiled a lot of them, but like, it's the apocalypse, and by this point, what is it? What did it say, 7 years later? So it's been 10 years into the apocalypse now, I think. Maybe we should conserve the gas. The fact that you still have enough that you actually get to have like lights running and stuff, that's insane. Like, that's crazy. You absolutely should not, with a capital N, ever be wasting the gas on things like mowing the lawn? What are you talking about? Isn't Ron Swanson like the actor? Isn't he the Fremulon guy? The guy who's like, Fremulon. Is that like a little nod to his Fremulon voice? And also, like, what is it? It's been years now. Years! And Frank is still there. What did I say? He's a freeloader, Bill. He's leeching off you. And now he's wasting your resources. Bill, I think you need to kill this guy.
We're gonna make friends. And we will invite them to visit.
We will never have friends because there are no friends to be had.
I've actually been talking to a nice woman on the radio.
You what?
Oh my gosh, what the heck is wrong with Frank? He has no respect for Bill at all. You're gonna just do that behind his back? Just bring in people? You don't know who the people out there are. You are risking compromising everything that Bill built and preserved for years. I hate Frank. I hate him right now. He's a leech, he's a liar, and he's a hussy. And this is also like kind of boring, I'm not gonna lie. We have seen one zombie. Actually, that's not true. We have seen 2 zombies. Why am I dealing with Will and Grace, the post-apocalypse years? Like, can we have some zombies to fight, please? I feel like I would like Bill and Frank's whole dynamic a lot more if instead of talking about painting the house and mowing the lawn, they were fighting infected, like in the game. Call me crazy, but where are all of them? I mean, like, this town is supposed to be, like, completely overrun with infected. Like in the game. There's just no infected in the show. Have they completely forgotten why we're watching this?
I want to thank you, even if we don't end up working together. I really needed this.
We are working together. We are.
We are, and you get no say in the matter, Mr. who I invaded his home, took over his stuff, waste his resources, and am now insisting that we're going to help other people and wasting more of our resources. Amazing. Really nice. We didn't really see him much in the game. And it was implied that they had a very similar personality type, because like, just based on notes that you found, Frank, just based on things that people heard about him, you know, he wasn't really the nicest dude. This guy is like really nice, but he also seems really fake about it. Like, he seems like such a user. I would get him out of there. I would kill him. Maybe that's an overreaction, but it is a zombie apocalypse. It's one less mouth to feed. Another alternative. If we are going to be just hanging out and doing whatever in this town, like, this town is perfect, and as far as we know, no zombies have gotten in. It's an impenetrable fortress at this point. How raiders haven't gotten in, I have no idea. Like, you think that by this point, raiders would have found the place and be like, oh, hey, that looks cool. I'm going in there. But they haven't, so it's like, here's the thought, guys. Why doesn't Joel and Tess just move in with them? Like, when he went to Billstown in the game, it was completely overrun with zombies. So it was understandable why he was so paranoid and had traps everywhere and was really, like, all by himself. No one went there, no one invaded there, because that place was a death trap. This place is just lovely. They're having a tea party right now. Like, I would understand why Joel and Tess preferred to live in the QZ in the game, because at least there, they were relatively safe from infected, whereas in Billstown, it was pretty overrun, even with all of his traps. But like, here, there is no reason why Joel and Tess would ever go back to the QZ, where they could be shot or raided or whatever. Just live there.
Let's go inside. Tess, I want to show you something.
Actually, I have been wanting to see it.
Not inside.
Thank you. Yes.
Frank.
Show him some respect, Frank. I hate this.
There's stuff we have in the QZ that you don't have here. Books, medicine, machine parts.
I mean, I don't know, Joel. Look at the town he has. And then look at the QZ from what we've seen of it. I don't know. This just might be me. But I feel like this place looks way too nice and is way too neat and way too orderly. And are they mowing the lawn? Because the lawn is really nice. I'm assuming that Frank has been mowing it, wasting that precious, precious gas. So I don't know, Joel. I feel like he doesn't really need your help. And he's only gonna say yes because Frank's like, we're doing it. Bill has no say in their relationship. He's just there to facilitate all of Frank's needs. Sounds kind of abusive if you ask me.
Sooner or later, there'll be raiders.
But will they really though? Because it's been quite a few years. I would probably add a few extra scenes of them actually fighting people to actually show that there are raiders out there and that they do need Joel and Tess. Because at the moment, I don't really believe them. I feel like Joel is just saying whatever he can so that way he can get their supplies. Everyone's using Bill. Everyone is just manipulating him and using him so that way they can get all of his stuff. Don't fall for it, Bill. It's actually kind of sad. I'm not gonna lie. So it's been like about 10 years at this point, a decade. No raiders, no infected, no nothing. They're just living in the suburbs.
Oh.
I traded Joel and Tess one of your guns for a packet of seeds.
Which gun?
You're gonna just trade one of Bill's guns behind his back without asking. All of this stuff is his. It is not yours to trade, Frank. I need to stop getting so upset, but Frank is such a jerk. I mean, I know he was a jerk in the game. He went behind Bill's back in the game too, and he stole his battery for his car and he was running out on him. But he didn't, like, as far as we know, he didn't have this fake aura of being this really nice guy. He's such a user. He really is. I know people like this. They act like they're so nice and they're so kind to your face. They're like, oh, I just want to get along. Oh, I just want to be friends, blah, blah, blah. Oh, you're so wonderful. And everything that you do is so wonderful. And then they leech off of you. They leech off of your work. They leech off of everything you built. They go behind your back. They steal your stuff. They do all of this stuff. Toxic boyfriend, Bill. I am really upset. I think you're supposed to be like, oh, their relationship. Oh, it's so cute and sweet. It's boring and toxic, and I will stand by that. And where are the freaking zombies? I feel like this zombie show just like forgot something important when they were making it. The zombies. Where are they? From Mulan. From Mulan. From that lawn. Because heaven knows Frank will. I cannot take this. It is so boring. Can something interesting please happen? It has been 10 years. I don't think the zombies are actually the problem in this show. They don't seem to be bothering anybody. This is terrible. Finally, something happens! Literally, that could not have taken any longer for raiders to show up. Why is it just happening now? Let's see, how far into this are we? We're 46 minutes into the episode. Something finally happens. It only took a year!
Bill! Get inside!
No! No! Are you kidding me? Frank literally got Bill shot now? Bill was handling it. Not in a great way. He was standing out literally with no cover in the middle of the street shooting at a bunch of people who were shooting at him. The fact that he didn't get shot before that amazes me, but like, wow. Oh my gosh. Frank. Oh, I hate Frank. I just feel so bad for Bill. He's doing such a good job defending his place all by himself. Well, Frank does nothing. Frank does nothing. He runs out there with no gear, just with a measly little gun. All the while, Bill is doing literally everything, like always, and Frank gets him shot. Oh, I'm so mad.
Hold on to me! I gotcha.
They really did just turn their back to a bunch of people who are shooting at them. Why couldn't it have been Frank? Why couldn't Frank have gotten shot? I hate that guy. It's always the worst ones that survive.
Okay.
10 years later, and still no zombies. Also, here's a question. Where are Joel and Ellie? When are they gonna show up? This show is about Joel and Ellie. Why have I just been watching this whole time? I don't want to watch Frank destroy Bill's life. When does he get infected? They're probably not going to do that. They're probably not. There are no infected. What am I talking about? Of course he's not going to get infected. They don't exist in this show.
Back in
I
bed.
promise you I'm gonna stay up.
Why?
Because this is my last day. There wasn't anything to cure this before the world fell apart.
Honestly, I really don't care. I don't care! Fremulon! From that lawn! I'm so bored! I'm so bored! You guys remember when this was a show about zombies? That was nice. I miss those days. You remember this was a show about Joel and Ellie? Do it already! I don't care! You could be using this time in this episode, you know, the hour and 16 minutes we get in this episode, to be developing Joel and Ellie's characters, like seeing their dynamic. To be honest, I don't love Ellie in this show. She's kind of annoying, so maybe the reason why I don't completely hate this episode is because she's not here to anger me. Frank is. I just get a substitute.
Death comes to us all, but some of us get to choose how we go.
So they really are just like Romeo and Julieting themselves right now. What the heck is happening? Oh, look who finally rolls into town. Hello, you two. Oh my gosh, where have they been? There's no time left for anything to happen. It's over. They're dead. That's actually really, really disappointing. So I'm just gonna walk in there, probably steal all of Bill's stuff just one last time, where all of Bill's stuff gets stolen and all of his hard work is treated like garbage. Just one more disrespectful blow to Bill, even after he's dead. That's nice. That's really nice. Oh my gosh, I hate this episode.
If you find this, please do not come into the bedroom. I leave you all of my weapons and equipment.
I personally really would have liked it if they actually had Ellie and Joel interacting with them. Like, I think that would have been interesting. I'm not saying it has to be exactly like the game. Like, I know that they're trying to subvert expectations with this show. That's kind of all Naughty Dog does now. Here's what I would have done. Like, if it was me writing this show, the way that I would have done it is basically like this. I would have had it where we open the show the same way and we do the whole intro with Bill and meeting Frank and that whole scene, blah, blah, blah. And all of that. Like, you get to know them, you get to understand them, you get to figure out their characters and everything. Maybe you could even like do the scene with Joel and Tess being like, hey, you better protect this place because raiders, and Bill's like, we'll be fine, blah, blah, blah. Then you cut to them coming in and you end up finding the town is completely overrun with infected. That would have been cool, kind of like the game. And you're like, oh my gosh, there's so many infected here. And Joel's like, what the heck? This isn't like how it usually is. It's usually like the suburbs. No one bothers anyone in the suburbs. And whatever. So they go into the town and they basically just start rummaging through and they're like, oh my gosh, it's completely abandoned. But then they end up falling into one of Bill's traps. It's the same one from the game where Joel gets hung upside down and he's like, oh my gosh, I'm stuck. Ellie, help me. And the infected come. And what are we all expecting? We're expecting Bill to come and save him, just like in the game. But this time, to subvert expectations, it's Frank. Frank is the one who comes to save Joel. But the only difference is this time, Frank has a very, very negative outlook. Like, he's not happy-go-lucky like we saw him before. Now he's acting more like Bill. really down in the dumps, a real bummer, just a grumpy dude. And he basically has the same kind of interactions that Bill would have with Ellie in the show while they're trying to scavenge through town and get the car battery and whatever else. The audience here is left to think, oh my gosh, what happened? Where's Bill? What's going on? What happened to their whole thing? Like, why isn't Bill here? Did they leave? Did they split apart from each other? What's going on? Is he dead? And even like Joel is like, where's Bill? Where's Bill? What happened? And you kind of get like this sense that something really bad happened, but you don't know. And Frank ends up being really, really standoffish about it, and he doesn't want to talk about it, and he doesn't share a lot of things. But then you see the wedding rings they got that they had in the show, and Frank is wearing them in a necklace together around his neck. So whatever happened, it must have been really bad. We're left to wonder. We're left for audience interpretation. Remember when this was a series about leaving things up to audience interpretation? Man, those were the good old days. Point being is that would have been really interesting. And you could tell that whatever happened, it completely broke Frank as a character and as a person. I don't know, I think that would have made him more interesting because like you see him as this happy guy, but then he just turns into this complete monster. And that kind of compares to the way that Joel was talking about him. He's like, oh yeah, Frank's a nice guy. And then Ellie's like, I thought that you were supposed to be the nice one. And everything, because Joel hasn't been here for a year, so you could believe something bad happened within that year. And it basically just ends with Frank kind of just wandering off, and you don't know what's going to happen to him. Like, Frank just kind of leaves in this really sullen and just really depressed state. And you just kind of see them just driving away from him like this, and you're kind of left to be like, oh my gosh, what's he gonna do? Like, is he going to end up Romeo and Julieting himself like in the show? Is he gonna end up alone forever? Is he gonna move on? Like, what's gonna happen to him now? That would have subverted expectations and still kept it close to the game to give people what they want. Fighting zombies and Joel and Ellie. This is the Joel and Ellie show, but it would, it would still have that same vibe. And maybe the episode just ends with a flashback to like Frank and Bill doing something together or having a conversation or something, and you don't even really know what the conversation, like the conversation doesn't even have to be anything interesting. It could just be them talking, and it could be like, oh my gosh, what could have been? Because the way that they did it here, it just feels so cheap, It's like, and it doesn't even fit in with the world, because what this show, or at least what the game has established, is that this is the end of the world. Like, this is the most dire situation you could be in. People are depressed and dying everywhere. It's a bad state. And the show honestly kind of ruins that whole vibe with this episode, because the vibe has been, oh my gosh, look at the fallen buildings, look at the horrible state of the Fedra QZ. And then it's like, oh, but these two guys are perfectly happy and having a wonderful time down the suburbs. It's like, okay, so is this actually the end of the world or not? Because it kind of takes some of the stakes of their environment away from the characters by doing this. Like, you're literally downplaying the apocalypse. There's no zombies. There was one troop of raiders, and they're just having a fine time. Like, I don't even understand why the Fedra QZ has to be so oppressive and awful and dirty. This place is clean and nice and tidy. Pick a lane, show. At least in the game. There's a very common running trend that you see up until you get to the hospital and the Fireflies, and Joel ends up saving Ellie. Spoiler alert, I guess. But you see that, like, everyone ends up dying. Everyone that everyone cares about ends up losing that person. Tess ends up sacrificing herself. Frank is dead. Sam ends up getting shot by Henry, and Henry can't take it. And what did all of these things have in common with each other? They were infected. I mean, you can't do that in this show, apparently, because the infected don't exist. But, like, that was kind of the common thing going on in the games, where it's like, all of these people had people they cared about, and they all got infected and died. And it was, like, this really big tragedy. No one gets to have anything nice or happy or loving in this world. It's such a dire situation. That's kind of what plays into the big choice at the end. And because they were all dying from the infection, that makes Joel's choice even more divisive. And he knows that he's going to only cause more of this pain because he has literally lived through it, and he has seen people do it, and he has felt it himself. But in this, you can't have that same story if it was like, oh yeah, they lived a happy life together. Tess died horribly and she had to sacrifice herself. All these people are dying left and right. It's a real tragedy, except for these two dudes. They're fine. They had a lovely time. They had a perfectly nice life, no problems, no worries, happy-go-lucky. Like, you can't do that. That, like, literally what they're doing here is not only boring and dull, but it also is literally ruining the entire point of the entire story. It's literally ruining the stakes. It's actually bringing them down, because it's like, well, I don't know, they found a way to survive. Why does everyone do that? I think that would have been interesting, like, if Frank ends up just becoming this really angry, miserable guy. Because, like, in the game, Bill's whole thing, like, the point of Bill as a character was to kind of reflect what Joel could end up turning into if he didn't have someone to care for and love, like Ellie, for instance. And also, like, if you were to do the thing that I was saying, like if you were to use my idea with Frank, where it ends up being Frank that's the bad person, you could kind of see a very similar shift with Ellie also, because you see this happy-go-lucky person, this really chipper personality with this kind of childlike wonder for the world and things around it, and just like this deep love for the people that he's surrounded by. And then you just see, after he loses them left and right, then you just see him just become this really depressing, angry, dark person, just this mean person. I think that would have worked really well. Like, that would have flowed into the character arc of Ellie and who she becomes in the second season. That's just me. If I were running the show, that's what I would do. I certainly wouldn't make the entire episode about this. This is boring and awful and dull. But that's just me. Anyway, I'm ranting again.
I have a brother out in Wyoming. He's in some kind of trouble, and I'm heading out there to find him. And my guess is he knows where some of them are out there. Maybe they can get you to wherever this lab is. We grab what we can.
I honestly don't know why they don't just stay there. Like, I know that Joel wants to get to Tommy, and Ellie wants to get to the Fireflies, but this place is really nice, you know? I'd just stay there. You know, the fully stocked fridge, food, farm, electricity. I mean, just maintain the place, guys. You don't have to go anywhere. Oh, is she wearing the shirt? She is wearing the shirt. Let's go! I will say this though, it is kind of weird that Bill just happened to have shirts that were the perfect size and fit for a 14-year-old girl. Like, no offense, Bill, but I feel like you would not personally fit into those shirts. Ellie, do not take that gun. Stop not listening to Joel. Well, that episode was quite boring. Oh my gosh. I would give that a 4 out of 10. Yeah. I like the intro though. That's why it gets the 4. The intro was really good. I was really invested in Bill, but I just kind of felt bad for him. It's like no one respected him for that entire episode. I did not care for that. Honestly, that was such a wasted opportunity for more development for Joel and Ellie. Like, it's a big downer for me. I didn't care for it. I didn't care for it one bit. But whatever, it's fine, it is what it is, I guess. I could see why reviewers liked it, because it had nothing to do with anything. I seem to not have a lot of luck with the odd episodes in this show. 1 and 3 have not been great. But I guess that depends. We'll see how episode 4 goes. If episode 4 is really good, then I will just be like, okay, even episodes. Even episodes are good, odd episodes are boring and awful. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, then I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye!